I'm CT. When I'm not podcasting, I'm in the real world. I mean, everybody has to work, right? My job is CS, customer service, solutions, relationships, generating motivation to keep my team pumped up and connected to every single guest who chose to stop in at night and pick up a few things or grab a gigantic basket and fill that monkey up. This is C.T.C.S., episode number 26. Up next, Ukraine. First and foremost, I want to thank you so much for supporting C.T.C.S. This is our 26th episode, and it's been fun to watch it grow each week. And this past week, we actually, C.T.C.S. made it up into the number one position of most listened to podcasts. And so I want to thank you for that. And so here we are with episode number 26. And how does it all start? With that transition walk. This morning, I had the opportunity to do a couple of great, incredible interviews. And you get into that mindset of being the interviewer, that podcaster, and the planner and all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden you have to put away those toys. And I probably sound like a spoiled snot child that is like, oh, poor baby's got to go to work. Well, yeah, poor baby's got to go to work. And poor baby's got to wake up tomorrow and do it all over again. I am a walking medicine cabinet. I've got so many drugs on me, for my legs, for my back, for my arms. I mean, just listen to this. These are the drugs that are in my pants pocket. So I'm the furthest thing away from Santa Claus, but when I walk around, people know that I'm coming. I could never sneak up like a butterfly or anything like that and sting like a bee. I think one of the biggest culture shocks right now, coming back my first day after 3 days off, is the fact that we don't have a Super Bowl to talk about. We don't have Valentine's Day to talk about. We don't have snowstorms to talk about. And so, this is one of the reasons why I show prep before I come in here, because I really want to go and find out what's going on in the entertainment world, what's the biggest binge watch, what's happening, so that I can at least have a conversation starter. And then that shows that I appreciate them being there, and this way we can have a conversation. I can get to know them a lot better. But wow, in the past few weeks, we've had a lot to talk about, the playoffs and all that kind of stuff, but not right now. So you have to rely on your show prep, or would that be grocery store prep? What is today's date? The 17th of February. And over by the milk department, the Easter candy's already out. We're like 2 months in advance here. And so people are already buying the Peeps. And so people love their Peeps. But here's the thing about Peeps. Put them in the freezer, because they taste really good when they're ice cold. We're traveling through the store right now is that everybody is asking each other, when they lift the mask mandate for this COVID-19, if they, will you take off your mask and work without a mask? And that seems to be the big question for a lot of people, because I think I'm going to keep mine on. I really do. I think that, we're still in the cold and flu season, and I feel a little bit more protected. It's more acceptable to wear a mask these days. And then maybe when the season gets over, I'll take it off. But it's not going to be because of COVID-19. In fact, the COVID numbers really aren't going down in the first place as it is. So, I'm in front of all these people every day. I'm going to keep it on. And I thought radio was really into testing all of their employees over there at that big company that I worked for in radio. I mean, every time we turned around, we always had to get on the computer, take a test. You have to pass with an 85% or better. Today, grocery store tests too. I was in there doing things for HIPAA, as well as another one that, is an eye-opener is, active gun test. If, what do you do during if there's an active gun inside your store and stuff like that? I mean, you've got to be mentally and physically prepared for this kind of stuff. And it's just test after test after test, but they've got to keep it actively involved inside your head. Boom, boom, pow, busted. Our team has gotten so well at identifying the potential theft. Why do people try to go with a lot of money or a lot of things inside their cart? We wouldn't catch you if you had fewer things inside the cart, I'm telling you. But there are certain patterns that these thieves have done. And tonight, $914.37 was in that basket. And we just happened to look, and we caught, and the way you catch it is because it's the pattern. It's the way that things are put in the basket, how many they have, certain items and things like that. If you have more than 2 or 3 of those giant soaps, I'm watching you. And if I start seeing a pattern of, by the way, they've got 2 cases of beer in there too, I'm watching you. And boom, boom, pow, busted. This is not a free plug, but it's an answer for people who it doesn't matter what your job is. If you're in a lot of pain, you might want to try this. I noticed this a couple of days ago on the shelf, and man, it really works for body aches. It's called Advil Dual Action, and when they say that you can only take a couple of pills every 8 hours, they mean that, because about 7 hours and 35 or so minutes into it, your body starts to ache all over again. But it's a liver beat buster, though. They talk about that a lot, saying that you better protect your liver. Don't let anything get in the way of that liver being injured. I've been talking about these transition walks a lot on my iHeartRadio channels about the importance of going from personality to personality. I mean, the best way to really kind of get control of your mental stability without having to, wait in those long lines to get to see the medical professionals is you've got to take the first steps. And one of them is take walks. I mean, Julia Cameron from The Artist Way says, take the walk. And when you do, it gives you the opportunity to kind of clear that noggin of yours and stuff like that. But as we go into day number 2, I'm not going to lie to you. It's a Friday. There's a serious side of my heart that's going, hey, remember when you used to have Fridays? When you used to hang out with your neighbors? When was the last time I saw them? All because of a challenge, a personal challenge. I was having a difficult time trying to get the attention of radio companies and people letting me to produce their commercials. And so I said to myself, you couldn't even get a job at a grocery store. And so I took on the challenge, and I said, I can get a job at a grocery store. And the first store I went to, they turned me down. And now the challenge was really on. Arriving in the store, and the first thing I'm kind of, not cornered, but questioned immediately about, didn't you guys do the putbacks last night? And I kind of looked at the management, and I said, wait a second, the two people here that closed the store are the greatest putback people on the planet. What do you mean, did we put the putbacks back? Of course we did. Well, there were 15 items here when we arrived this morning, and it's like, you know what? Don't even. You feel like a total setup, but then you have to think about what are the overnight people doing? They're stocking the shelves and stuff like that. And I'm sure someone said, just take it up to the front. They'll put it away. And you can't do that, man, because that's when the fingers start flying. It's going to be a rough day in CS when right off the bat, someone comes up and says, I just bought this meat at 10 o'clock this morning. I took it home and it smells like this. And we do a double the money back guarantee. And, on most people, you would sit there and say, I'm so sorry about what's going on. But every week, this one person does exactly this. If it's not meat this week, it's veggies next week, and then it's this over here the next week and stuff like that. But the stuff comes back, and she wants her double the money back, and we do it. There's no questions asked, and because that's what we're doing. But it's like it is a business. These people have turned getting double the money back into a business. Man, I've got to get used to this new Western Union. It's a lot more questions, a lot slower compared to the other Western Union. New and improved means usually more questions asked. And I understand what they're doing. They're trying to protect it. But the guests who are used to being in and out are not getting the opportunity to be in and out. And they get a little testy, and then they start saying things like, don't you know what you're doing? Don't you know what you're doing? And, you just say, very calmly, it's a new system. We're getting used to it. We're going to have you out just in time. Don't you know what you're doing? and that, the smart jerk in me would like to say, not only do I know what I'm doing, but, I think I'm just going to take even more time just to get you upset. No, I would never do that, though. Presently outside, this scene of a scene. The husband and wife started arguing inside the store. They argued in lane number 3, and then she took off and said she's going to go get the car. She got the car all right, but she didn't stop up here to pick up the groceries. She just kept on driving. He's having a fit, and so it's one of those where, it's like, who wins here? Because, and you can't help but look at it because they're the ones that are creating the scene and everything. But, it's you feel sorry for these moments, but it's a Friday. It's a Friday. You want to have a fight like this on a Friday, you still got 2 more days together. So, work it out, people. Work it out. An update on the older woman that came in with the bad fish after she had just purchased it, earlier and stuff like that. She wanted double the money back. We did a little bit of investigating with the store card, and she has actually been kicked out of 3 other stores. She's not even supposed to go in there anymore. And so now she faces that with this situation as well. And it's like, you feel so bad, but when they do what they're doing and they consistently do it, that's breaking the rules. That's taking advantage of a very good thing. Headed into the 3rd day transition walk. It occurred to me this morning, before I even get to the store, that we know each other as co-workers inside the store, but none of us really know each other as real people. In the fact that I'm just finding out that I work with writers, I work with people that work with wood and stuff like that, and I think that's got to be my goal. We can build up relationships with our guests, but I think maybe we also need to build up relationships with those that we put a lot of hours in with, so that we can ask real questions about what it is that they're doing in an everyday world. Stepping into the store, day number 3. I'll tell you one thing that I'm very proud about, and that is a couple of episodes ago I spoke very in demanding and really wanted to command something that needed to be corrected, and that was all these putbacks. When you come in and you see 2 and 3 carts full of things, and the nighttime people get to put it away. I mean, it takes an hour and a half to 2 hours to do that kind of stuff, but coming in here so far this weekend, it's been all clean, and it looks really sharp. And, man, if I had anything to do with that, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you understand that image is everything to me, and image is everything to our guests. They pretty much know that I have long hair. It's past the middle of my back, and every once in a while I won't wear the hair back, and I have it in the front. And so today is one of those days, and everybody's like going, so what's the problem? What's going on? Why don't you have your hair back? And they think that me letting my hair down there's a situation. No, it just feels good to be me. Because when you pull the hair back, you just got to be so, corporate America. No, I'm a rock star at a grocery store. The top today, and I don't know why today more than any other day, is that the number of people who took up cooking in the kitchen during the COVID-19 lockdown. A lot of guys said, I just never thought about going in there. I mean, I'd open up a can of soup or beef stew or even a chili, but I never thought about making it myself. And so during the lockdown, I had the time to learn how to do all that kind of stuff. So you swap notes, man, because that's exactly what happened to me during the lockdown. I'm telling you, I became a master chef of creating soup. And I mean, not just one chicken noodle soup. I mean, I took big chances on any kind of soup. And to this day, I still make all different types of soups. And it's fun to sit there and swap recipes and chance takings and why you use this spice and why I would never use that spice. So, I mean, that's a big talk with the guys, because the Super Bowl is over, but man, they're ready to talk about what's going on in that kitchen. We're back to having only 2 employees between 9 and 10 p.m. And one of them has a major job to do tonight. They have to go through everything that the discounted stuff and make sure that's all documented. And the only time we're going to be able to do that is during the 9 o'clock hour. So that'll be me on self checkout and register 1 and customer service. And so you got to think positive in a moment like this. You go, okay, you can only do what Walmart always said, because we'd always ask him during Christmas, how do you make your way through this? Well, it's always one customer at a time. Being this close to a high school, you expect some kids to come in, but hopefully they'll be nice and they'll be orderly. Not tonight, man. We have 6 guys and 2 girls. They've decided to take the electronic cards for the disabled, and they're racing them down aisle number 5. Security is like going crazy over it, and then they stop, get off the motorized vehicles, and then walk away. And it's like, really? And so now 15 minutes later, they're back again, and they're in row 5, and they're popping candy into their pockets. So what do you do but just take it away from them? Transition walk day number 4. I've had this problem over the past few weeks, and I don't know, and you try to Google it, and you get every excuse in the world, but not the real truth. But I've had a serious problem, and I can't be the only one, but then again, maybe I am. When I put on my shoes, and I'm wearing my Hokas, it feels like the socks are bunching up underneath my toes, and I can't figure out how to even stop that. Here I am in aisle number 7. I am the king of the putbacks, and I'm putting back birdseed, and I got ready to put it on the lower shelf. Whole thing opens up. every bit of those seeds are on the floor. So now the goal is to clean it up as quickly as possible so somebody doesn't come by and slip on it. And that's how I started off my 4th day. Great. Please be better. Monster of a day. I mean, just unbelievable. Long lines. I mean, just flashbacks of Super Bowl Sunday and even a snow Sunday. I mean, that's just it's a lot of people did not expect it. They came in here just thinking it was going to be like what's been going on for the earlier part of the week, and that is it's just been kind of just a humdrum kind of thing. But man, we have been slammed. Imagine being on a register for 4.5 hours nonstop, no breaks, not even a water break. You just keep going, and that's what we're doing. And the big thing that's been on everybody's mind, and people are talking about it, is now that the Olympics are over, what is Russia going to do with Ukraine? I swear to God, that is the biggest conversation on that cash register today. 6 hours nonstop on the register. That's how busy. And, on your feet, and you finally get the opportunity to get something to eat. And, a 30-minute break, what does that do to the body? But it makes your body hurt even more. So, but 6 hours, they always say, well, I like it busy because the hours fly by. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. It's still 6 hours without a break. I'm not shocked, but I just learned, not shocked because it happens all the time, but just learned that we had 2 call-outs tonight. And I was wondering why, it just didn't feel like that we had a vibration going on between all the registers. But two call-outs, and at 8 o'clock, everybody but 2 people will be gone, and we won't have a bagger after 9 o'clock. So that means that final hour, the 2 of us will be running the store and collecting carts at the same time. Welcome to the wide world of sports. Grocery store, I don't know, madness. Oh boy. And so we begin the official wrapping up of the evening. The store has been officially closed, and the conversations that I got into tonight with guests about this thing that's happening overseas, everybody was. I mean, we were slammed all the way up until 10 o'clock, and people were going, people were going, is it possible that the reason why there's a lot of people here is because of this could there be a cyber attack on the United States? Could there be a cyber attack somewhere, and it starts affecting ATMs and electoral things? This is not to freak anybody out or anything like that, but people get, something planted in their head. But that was the talk tonight, that, I got to get food in the house. Got to get food in the house. We got to make sure that we have money, and they were coming in to get money off from their cards and all that kind of stuff, just so they can have cash in the house. So, guys, I don't know, but that's what's being talked about in your friendly neighborhood grocery store. I do CS, and my job is to listen and to really help people. And I'm not going to lie to you before we close here. I'm not going to lie to you. I really was expecting someone to come in sometime today and say that it's already started. And the reason why is because I was at the store when the insurrection happened. So, okay. I can go home and breathe now, right?